An unknown community named The Table is hidden from the world and seeks to kill a traitor who went against their rules. Assassins are being tasked to kill this traitor, but none of them have been able to complete that mission. This is the story of a man named Jonathan Wick, the Baba Yaga. The movie starts with our protagonist, John Wick. He is seen training his fists when a man named King comes to ask if he is ready. John affirms this claim and King laughs. John is seen chasing some men on a horse. He kills them and gets to their leader. The leader was the new head of the table who was after the life of John. A man from under the table named Harbinger goes to a hotel owned by a former friend of John named Winston. They meet with Winston's associate and ask to meet the manager. They ask Winston to give up his hotel and meet the new head. An hourglass is placed in front of Winston to show the time he has left. Winston and his associate are seen walking into the new head's office. He introduces himself as Marquis. He relays Winston previous ties with John Wick. The sand is finished in the glass and Winston's hotel is destroyed. His associate also speaks and is shot dead. The new head goes out with his guard named Chidi and asks for an old friend of John named Kane. Kane comes and is asked to kill John. Kane is a blind assassin who has a daughter. His daughter is used to blackmail him and he accepts to assassinate John. Koji, an old friend of John, is seen in his hotel. He is seen talking with his daughter Akira about a dog in his hotel. The owner of the dog is named Nobody. Koji secretly meets with John and they have a talk. Koji tells John that he killing the previous head of the table made them respond by the destruction of Winstein's hotel. Akira comes to tell her father that some men from the new head have come to ask for inspection of the place. She meets John and her father asks her to stay with him. Koji tells his men prepare for a battle. His men go for their weapons and prepare. Koji goes to meet Chidi and his men at the reception. He asks them to leave their weapons if they want to have full access to their hotel. Kane, a mutual friend of John and Koji, comes to convince his friend to give John Wick to them. Koji disagrees and turns off the lights. We see Koji's men drawing out their arrows and swords. Arrows are shot and one of the Chidi's men is killed. Both forces attack each other and the fight starts getting bloody. Both sides lose some of their men and we see Chidi killing a female. He is held at gunpoint and more of his soldiers come to the place. Koji and his men fall back. A member of Koji's team comes to tell Akira that they are being attacked. Akira brings out her amour and John gets ready. The messenger is killed and a shootout begins. Some sumo men stop the Chidi soldiers and we see Koji killing most of his attackers. Akira fights off 2 men at the same time, killing them in the process. One big man also attacks her. She finds difficulty in killing the man but does so by continuously stabbing him in the back whilst climbing a stairs. Akira is shot and her father comes to help. John covers for them and holds off their attackers. Koji asks John to leave through the back door and John promises to kill as many men as he can. Chidi's men are stuck at a point. They see Kane eating and ask for his help. He comes out of the shadows and fights off Koji's men. More men come at him. They shoot arrows and he dodges all of them. He uses a motion sensor to find where his attackers are and kill them in the process. John is escaping when he meets more attackers. He uses guns and martial arts to defend and also kill the Chidi's men. One of the attackers throws John through a glass. He gets up and picks up nunchucks. He uses the weapons to fight the men and renders them unconscious. Bullets are being shot at John and he takes cover for protection. He closes the range between his shooters and himself. He takes them all down using Krav Maga, Aikido, and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Kane comes towards John and he explains that Marquis threatened his daughter's life and that's why he has to kill John. Kane shoots John and he takes cover. John grabs a gun and shoots back at Kane. They fight using hand-to-hand combat. They seem to be evenly matched. Kane uses a sword and a gun whilst John uses a gun only. They both stop shooting. John makes a sound which gives out his location. Kane pounces on John, wanting to cut his throat with his knife. A black man named Nobody shoots, which disrupts the fight. John escapes into a bamboo forest. He is ambushed and Nobody with his dog kills off the ambushers. Koji and Akira meet Kane. Koji with a bullet wound picks up his sword. Kane pleads with Koji to give him the whereabouts of John. Koji refuses and attacks Kane. With Koji having a wound, He is at a disadvantage. He is defeated and Kane perceives to leave. Koji attacks Kane and he defends himself. Kane sees an opening and stabs Koji, killing him in the process. Akira tries to attack Kane, but he stops her, asking her to live. She leaves and Kane tells her that he would be waiting. Akira meets John in a train. She tells him that her dad is dead because of him. The train stops and she leaves. King meets with Winston and they have a talk. They stand in front of the collapsed hotel, reminiscing on the past. Kane and Nobody are seen in the Marquis house. Nobody goes to Marquis and asks for money from him in exchange for John's location. Nobody keeps increasing the price when Marquis stabs his hand through a table. Nobody's dog is held at gunpoint. He pulls his hand through the knife and is asked to look for John. John goes flying. He is hanged by the neck whilst they interrogate him. A female tells him that her father was killed after John killed the previous elder. John promises to kill the new elder, and the female says that the table will just appoint another. John says that he can end it with a duel, as the old ways says. This piques the female's interest, and the man who shot John tells the female that for someone to challenge Marquis to a duel, the person must be a member of a family. She looks at John with an intense face and asks him to kill the man who killed her father before they can accept him. He is taken to the assassin and is asked to sit. Kane comes out surprising John. Nobody also comes requesting for John's life. The assassin laughs as the place becomes intense. Click on the link in the description or the video at the top for the next part.